He's a 75-year-old who spent more than 10 years in the United States. His name is Khalifa Haftar, and what's interesting about him is that he's been supported by not only European powers like France and Russia, but also Middle Eastern powers like Egypt and the United Arab Emirates. And some people are saying that he's been emboldened by this foreign support, and that's what's led him to make this big, audacious move, an attack on Libya's capital, just 10 days before the United Nations-sponsored peace conference was due to happen and was due to schedule elections that would hopefully end 8 years of instability. So he's being supported by the West largely because of his purported opposition to Islamic terrorist groups such as the Islamic State, which did have some fighters in Libya, and particularly for Egypt, his opposition to the Muslim Brotherhood, the political Islamic movement. But really, what Libyans fear is that his forces are accused of committing war crimes as they took the city of Derna, and he's someone who has shown a disregard for international humanitarian law in the past, and essentially they're worried that given he has only loose control over some of the militias under his command, that this is a very, very dangerous development for the country as a whole.
Libya, of course, has been completely unstable, as your report suggested, since the fall of Gaddafi. It's also very politically complex, and powers have been struggling to try and find a way through that complexity over the last couple of years.
Well, one of the criticisms that Libyans actually have of the international community's efforts in Libya is that they support certain militia or warlords or people like Khalifa Haftar for short-term gains, such as stopping illegal migration. So the European Union funds the Libyan government of national accord to run immigration detention centres, which take those migrants who are intercepted in the Mediterranean and detain them in Libya. These are migrants trying to get from Africa to Europe. And in the case of Khalifa Haftar, it emerged that France, the special forces of France, were secretly helping him against Islamist terrorist groups. So, Libyans say that this is a real problem, that the West is only willing to step in and support certain people for short-term aims that suit its own political agendas, and not for the long-term aim of state building in Libya, which would bring true stability and, a viable state on the north of Africa that could actually be a partner against terrorism and illegal migration in the long term.
It's finding that one uniting force that might cut through all of this, and the US troops are now, there's discussions of them pulling out. What might the fallout from that be in terms of whether there would be, once again, almost a civil war?
Well, really, what the great fear and the immediate fear is that you have 1.2 million people in Tripoli. It's a critical part of where Libya's oil revenues are received, home to the National Oil Corporation, and so it's essential to Libya's economy. So in the immediate term, the fear is that this kind of entrenched conflict will have terrible humanitarian consequences in Libya. But in the longer term, what you're looking at really is a new period of instability and the failure of the UN-sponsored peace process and attempts to hold democratic elections. And that really has long-term consequences, not just for Libya, but for all of North Africa, and again for those European powers that are looking for a stable country that's an ally against Islamist terrorism groups and illegal migration.
Eric Torczyk, appreciate the update. Thank you.